And welcome back, Air Acolytes, to Breaking Wind, a Last Airbender podcast where we ask the question, is revenge worth it? Yes. Yes, it is. But not always. But sometimes it is. I am your host, Jason Roy Gaston, and with me as always, my friend, my neighbor, my brother from another mother, the man from down under, Jace, VHS Jace. That guy right there.
Me.
Him.
I'm really excited about this episode, and is it that revenge is a dish best served wet?
Moist?
Because
Revenge is a dish
water?
best served moist. I just like saying the word moist because it really makes a lot of people
feeling uncomfortable
get the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, let's move it on. Great episode, Jace.
This is the Southern Raiders.
Yay!
I think that they're playing the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, who knows? Who cares?
So we open up at the Air Temple, and ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that you've had your fill of the Air Temple because we're done with the place now because it is now being attacked by the Fire Nation. Azula has dropped in, and she is blowing the place up because Azula has nobody by her side anymore telling her, oh, Azula, that's not a nice thing to do. She's arrested all of her friends. She's put them all on death row, and she is unhinged. And she's just, I'm going to be an only child. She's not well.
I don't know why she feels so joyful in this moment. Because she's insane, Jason. She's insane.
She's going a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Zuko knocks Katara out of the way before she can get hurt. And of course, she's just like, I don't think we need this sexual tension. This does not work between us, Zuko. So she's still got some sore feelings towards him. Obviously, she still doesn't trust him. Zuko faces off against Azula. Somebody mentioned this the other day, and it never even occurred to me, and it is the most obvious thing in the world.
Well,
the color of their fire. Now, I know it's like, well, obviously Azula is like lightning bending, but she's not. She's not lightning bending. She's fire bending right there. But her flames are always blue. And it never occurred to me they had this mapped out from the very beginning so that Zuko and Azula's flames would contrast. So you would always know whose blasts were whose.
But isn't cold flame sometimes known as the most dangerous flame?
Oh, the blue flame is hotter. It is much, much hotter than red flame. So although Zuko has gotten a bit of an upgrade with his skills, he is still not up to snuff to beat his sister. But he is up to snuff to knock her off of her blimp, and her and Zuko start falling towards their deaths. Zuko is captured by the Gaang on Appa, while Azula saves herself in the most epic way possible. Look at that smirk. She knows how good she is.
Yeah, but I like that moment where he goes, oh, this is it kind of thing. She's
not going to make it.
She's not going to make it.
Of course she's going to make it. Dang.
Yeah. Well, doesn't one of the characters say that? Like, of course she's going to make it.
Yeah, it was Zuko. Whenever she saves herself, she goes, of course she made it. I honestly wonder what Zuko's reaction would have been if Azula had fallen to her death right there. Because I get the feeling that whenever he was watching her fall and thinking she wasn't going to make it, it wasn't joyful. It wasn't relief. It was just sad. He was sad. So I don't know. There's
a different man now. So he emotionally, it was a few weeks prior. I don't think he would have really. He just would have gone, good. It's over.
Yeah, he'd be sitting there blasting her with fire on the way down. It's like, die, die, die.
He has a little thing called empathy now.
He does, or as they call it elsewhere, being woke.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, later that night, they are around a campfire, and Zuko makes a little quip because they're talking about, old times. He goes, oh, if you want old times, I could always chase you around, and everybody kind of laughs. But of course, there's one person who's not laughing, and that's Katara. She still does not like him. I don't trust you. I don't like you. I don't like your stupid face. I don't like anything about you. And Zuko wants Katara to like him because he really is a changed person now. He wants people to accept him into the group. He needs that dynamic. He needs people to trust him.
Well, he's a recovering. He's like on the 12 steps. at the
He
moment.
is. He's a child
Yeah.
and he's finally found a support system, and he needs all of the columns of his support system. And right now, Katara is not a column, but he's going to go to one of the columns that does hold him up, and that's Sokka, who is okay. I address this. Sokka's the only one in Team Aang who's getting it.
Yeah.
I think that they established.
We're trying to.
Yeah, no, I think he's been hitting it for like days now.
Oh, really?
I think Sokka's been socking it, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you're right, because there's a level of expectation like it's going to happen, meaning
he knew exactly what was coming. Suki knew exactly what was coming. It's that whole thing, and yeah, I'm trying not to be explicit, but Sokka and Suki are, they're doing a little bending of their own, so to speak.
Horizontal tango.
A little bit of They're doing a little dance of the dragon of their own.
They're bending something, put it that way.
Yes. Water tribe. Anyway, moist. Anyway, Zuko interrupts sexy water tribe time. Oh my god, look at that is like an inch away from being obscene.
Yeah, that is.
So Zuko comes in for the most uncomfortable heart-to-heart ever and wants to know, hey, I know that you're ready to get some. Tell me about when your mom died. So yeah, that's
can
a
you
real.
Please sit up rather than laying on that.
Yeah, I can see your boys, Sokka. Yeah, put them up. I thought you were sitting on a pair of eggs, dude. Come on. So anyway, Sokka. I was thinking whenever Suki comes into the tent, it's like, okay, Sokka, you ready? I'm just not in the mood anymore. I don't know why. So Sokka tells Zuko the specifics of the day that their mother died. And we get a flashback of adorable little Sokka and adorable little Katara on the day that the Fire Nation came to the Water Tribe and basically murdered their mother, believing that she was the last waterbender.
I was uncomfortable watching those scenes.
It was very uncomfortable.
Because we're dealing with the core of her trauma. And because we love her so much, I don't actually want to, even though she's reliving it, we're living it the first time. It's tough to watch.
It is. And this episode, I think I told you last week, this episode goes to some very dark places. And this is one of those places because, I don't know, it just seems like before Avatar, cartoons, especially on Nickelodeon, never talked about death. I think that Rugrats did an episode where they were talking about Chucky's mom dying. Yeah. But I don't even think they used the word death at any point. It was just my mom's gone. Here it's there are deaths, and those deaths have consequences, and those consequences cause ripples, and they affect these characters going forward, as it has with Katara and Sokka, because both of them, it was Patton Oswalt who said this, and it stuck with me ever since. When Patton Oswalt's wife suddenly passed away, he wrote on his blog, "She didn't leave a hole in my life. She left a blast crater." And so that is how I feel. I had a family member pass away suddenly last year, and he's right. It's a blast crater. Because it's a hole is something that's just a bump. A blast crater you fall into and you have to claw your way out of, and sometimes you don't.
There's many of us that have had that person that just unexpected. Yeah.
Yes, and despite the fact that this, I mean, come on, this was a surprise attack and this was sudden. But Zuko very cleverly asked questions about, do you remember any flags? Do you remember what uniform they were wearing? Things of that nature, and he deduces who it was, who came after Katara's mom, and he comes to Katara and makes her an offer. I know who killed your mom, and I can take you to him. And we get the birth of vengeful Katara, a Katara we have not really seen a whole lot of, because she's going to go kill somebody.
Wasn't even consideration, Jay. She was instantly on board.
Like, it was just like, I hate you, Zuko. I hate you so much. I know who killed your mom. I can take you to him. Take me, Zuko. Take me now. Not that way. Take me to the guy. They have a conversation with Aang, and Aang is understandably concerned, telling her, the way of violence is not the way to go.
Yeah, you know
That's a
that.
cliff you don't want to go off of. And you really do get this you get this feeling throughout this entire episode, and there's more to this later on that I'll get into, that Katara is definitely on a precipice at this moment. That she is about to fall into a blast crater that she's not going to come out of. And she's going to come out of this adventure way worse. And
Yeah.
she's never going to be the same again. And I think that's
Yeah.
why this episode is so dark,
Mm.
especially considering some of the actions that she takes later. But first, very beautiful shot of
Of
our
course.
boy against the
Yeah.
moon. I just love it. All I need is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. Yeah. Everybody's like, you nerd. So anyway, Katara.
Doing a Generations reference? Was that a
That was
Generations
Star
reference?
Trek 5.
Ah, sorry,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking when they were on the boat.
Katara blasts her way onto a Fire Nation vessel. I'm kind of skipping some parts here, but honestly, they're not that important. She blasts her way onto a Fire Nation vessel because she's going to get the captain of the Southern Raiders, the platoon of Fire Nation people who came after her mom. And so she goes after them, and she does something here that is really disturbing. Just whenever the general is about to firebend them, he loses control of his limbs because Katara is bloodbending him.
Yes.
And it is a jaw-dropping moment because I really don't think that I truly appreciated how dark Katara was capable of going, because she's always been the den mother. She's always been the little nag. She's always been, the rock for everyone else. And here it's just white hot rage, and all consideration, all humanity is gone.
Yeah.
This is what we could have gotten at the end of the episode. A Katara who was okay with breaking her morals in the name of her own rage.
Shout out to the sound design team on that little scene, by the way, because when she's distorting the body, have a listen.
Oh,
have a listen. It doesn't sound great. It's so good.
It's uncomfortable.
I was sitting in that booth cracking something to get that sound.
There's a quick shot also during this scene that I actually think even makes it even more disturbing, and that's Zuko's reaction, because he is
he's horrified.
He's horrified at what he's seeing. Like whenever Zuko says, "Oh no, girl, dial it back."
Yeah.
That is something. But it's such a slight thing. You just see his one good eye get a little bit wider because he was not expecting this. He's like, "Oh crap, I shouldn't have brought her." But he goes along with it because he knows that this is something important to Katara. And so he gets down there and he says, look at her. Look at her.
Yeah.
Do you recognize her? Do you recognize what you did? And whenever he looks at her, Katara realizes that's not him. That's not the guy who killed my mom. Turns out.
Sorry about you twisting and contorting your body whole thing.
I would say that would feel better tomorrow, but it's not. Yeah, sorry. You're going to need some physical therapy, dude. Yeah, your Fire Nations come, though. You deserve it. Well, it turns out that the captain of the Southern Raiders retired many years ago, and he is enjoying retired life with his, what was it, his mom, I think? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was his mom.
Whoever it is, super mean.
Yeah, super mean mom. And he's basically just this really beat up old man now.
Well, in a way, he's already paying the price.
Yes.
He has a miserable life.
Most definitely. And Katara's here to make it even more miserable. Because she thinks back, she corners him and she's like, do you remember me? And he has a flashback and he's like, I do remember you. You're that water tribe girl. When you were there whenever we got the last waterbender. And she goes, no, you didn't get the last waterbender. I am the last waterbender.
Cool reveal.
Yes. And then she is just gonna straight up murder him. She's turning the rain into ice spikes and they're flying towards him. And at the last minute, they stop. And he is just, this is like I said, this is like anime level.
Yeah.
melodrama, and I love it. The animation and everything. And I guess she just realizes that, as you said, he's not even worth it anymore. He's just this broken, worthless old man who has no importance to his life anymore. He's just pathetic. He's pathetic, and she does not want to sacrifice that part of her soul to get that revenge that she thinks she wants.
Yeah.
Because at that moment,
100%.
it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It
Exactly.
doesn't matter. And
Heady
so,
themes for a kid show, man. Heady
very
themes.
much so. And so, her and Zuko leave this pathetic old man to live out the rest of his miserable life,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And
Which you should.
a lot of people will probably look at that. And I've heard a few people say, well, that's kind of a sudden heel turn. No, it's not. That's who Katara is.
No, that's her able to cling on her last vestige of being good.
Yeah.
If she had crossed that line, it was over.
Yeah.
She said a piece of her soul, it would have cost her her whole soul.
Yeah. She recognized the quality of mercy was what it was. Not only was it mercy, but it was condemning him to a fate worse than death.
But she had to go through that. She had to go through that.
She had to
let it go. Yeah.
It was therapy. It was therapy for her. And it pays off for her, and it pays off for Zuko, because at the end, Katara fully supports and embraces Zuko into the group. And we think everything's going to be fine. But then Zuko poses Aang a question. Do you really believe that nonviolence is the way? If so, what are you going to do whenever you have to face my father? And we end on that note of Aang with that look that says he has absolutely no idea.
Yeah, and thanks for ruining the mood, Zuko.
But he better figure it out, because we only have a handful of episodes left. I was looking through the list.
We only have 2 more episodes, don't we?
Yeah, we have next week we got the Ember Island Players, which is an episode people either love or they hate.
Ooh, cool.
I'm on the love side, because I think we need
that. Isn't it
Sozan's Comet?
That's going to be an epic breaking wind, right? I mean, that's going to be a long.
Absolutely, that's going to be an extra long, extra deep, extra base-filled.
So how are we going to do it? Are we going to do half first 2 and then second 2, or we do the whole?
Yeah, we're just going to do all 5 of them.
Like it's a movie. It'd be a movie.
Yeah, we're just going to lift a cheek and we're going to let them all go right there.
It'll
be an epic conclusion to Avatar: The Last Airbender, at least until Aang: The Last Airbender in 2026, or the second season of live-action Avatar, whichever comes first. And hopefully the second season of Last Avatar is better than the first season.
You know, the live-action series is like that bit of food in the back of the fridge. You don't know why you haven't thrown it out, but you look at it at disgust, and you don't trust it anymore. That's for sure. It may even look fresh, but you don't trust it.
I see it more as it's a box of dry ingredients you have in your pantry that you bought and you put in your pantry, and it stays there and it stays there. But you keep looking at it thinking, I'm going to do something good with that. That's going to be great someday. But you don't know when someday is going to be. That's how I feel about it. I really hope that the next season will be good. I hope that they've listened to criticism. I hope that they've addressed some of the shortcomings. And I want it to be good, because I honestly don't understand how anybody could look at that and say, I want it to be bad. I don't get that.
I will sacrifice special effects. I will sacrifice set pieces happily for just good character storytelling.
Please.
Get that right. And I'm happy if you couldn't do every big action scene. I get it. It's expensive. But just get the characters right.
Yes. And of course we have the new Last Airbender spin-off coming, the Earth Avatar. I've been hearing stuff about it. I don't know how accurate these leaks are, but
no, you're gonna. I seriously, there's a spin-off series being developed.
There's a new spin-off series. They don't have.
I didn't know.
Oh yeah. Avatar Studios is coming up with a new series, and a concept of it has leaked, and I don't want to say what the concept is, because it is a leak.
Concept.
Yeah,
so,
it's I mean, it's could be like some fan lying. It could be a real thing. If it is a real thing, I don't want to talk about it because I don't really like leaks, so to
Okay.
speak. But if it's
We can give them a
accurate,
warning. We can give them a warning. Hey guys, if you don't want to
okay,
hear this leak,
okay. So here's a warning. We're gonna discuss the leaks that could or could not be what the next Avatar series is going to be about. So if you don't want to hear them, then get off. But first, visit
thanks for
the link
watching.
below and visit our Patreon. We're going to talk about it in
Back
5,
off.
4, 3, 2, 1. So the new series is going to be set after the Legend of Korra, obviously. You don't really know that much about Korra, but apparently
I
at
know
some
it's
point,
kind of industrialized period.
yeah,
Korra,
at
isn't
some point after the Legend of Korra, Korra is forced to do something, and we don't know what yet, but it basically leads to the destruction of society.
it? Okay.
And I don't know what it is. Nobody knows. But the Avatar cycle is there's something else happens during the Legend of Korra that basically like it's hard to describe this without without
Okay,
spoiling things
getting
for you.
into spoiler. Okay.
Okay,
So
so
maybe people
anyway,
should just look it up.
okay, so anyway, basically the Avatar spirit Rava is has a dark mirror. And
Okay.
so after Korra, there's twins. One basically it has the spirit of Rava, and the other one has the dark spirit. So you have
Okay.
twin avatars, one
Rich
light,
man,
one
poor
dark.
man.
Yeah, and that's the premise of this: is that
I don't mind
two
that.
avatars, one light, one dark.
Okay.
So I mean,
I'm not hating that. It's not original, but I'm not
I'm not
hating it.
hating it either. It's a different idea, and it could
Yeah,
be
it's a
done
different
really
idea.
well as long as they stay away from melodrama, because that is one thing that really I think crippled Korra in the first couple of seasons is that they did melodrama too
Okay.
much, too much. Like there was a love triangle, and every time they got into the love triangle, I was just like, I just didn't like it.
Yeah. No, I'm with
Even
you.
though other aspects of the series were very strong, the love triangle just like brought everything to a stop.
Well, still got a little while to go, though. I think we've got, what, 5 or 6 episodes left? And
6 episodes.
6 episodes. Let's see how they bring this baby home.
Okay, so join us next time for the Ember Island Players here on Breaking Wind, a Last Airbender podcast. Just stopping here for a second so that we can put up the look at the videos, everybody. You should watch these other videos. They're really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one was my favorite, even though I'm pointing the wrong way.
You probably
That
are.
one I hated. It's terrible.